YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. This is Jacob Cast 2024. We're gonna play Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and while we do that, we'll be talking about a WWE Smackdown review on this live stream. We'll talk about Smackdown. We'll talk about the news and rumor. We'll talk a little bit about AEW Dynamite. We may talk about the news and rumors. Now this will be like an hour and 10 minutes. We'll see how long this is. This video is sponsored by PlayStation. It was sponsored by JD from New York, Salamonster Sound Off, Fightful Pro Wrestling, and other podcasters that I know of. I don't think JD and Salamonster are doing their podcasts. I think they're at House of Glory and they're doing something else. We got Denise Salcedo. We still got Fightful Pro Wrestling. Now, I had to re-upload and remake the video again because, unfortunately, I can't play Black Ops 6. I can't do multiplayer zombies. I need to play online. I have to pay. Maybe I can play the campaign. Is it kind of weird? Crazy how most of the Call of Duty games you need to play online. Well, that sucked. But anyway, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Now I'm gonna talk about Smackdown. This is the Fallout. Tatum Paxley debut. Well, Smackdown was decent. It was an okay show. It was fine. Nothing too spectacular. The show opened up with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk came out. Cody Rhodes confronted CM Punk. Cody Rhodes asked if Punk knew it or was going to show up in that match. Punk did say that they can have one more match. We took unfinished business to say when. So they still want to continue their feud. After that, Kevin Owens came out. Kevin Owens and CM Punk describe first show describe viral history. So they had a face-to-face. Owens shoved them. Kevin Owens had 10th meeting with Sami Zayn backstage. Sami Zayn also had another interaction with Gargano. I can't believe, this was so ridiculous. When is Gargano going to be in the ring and do something? Sami Zayn can't away. If it doesn't leave somewhere with Gargano and can't away, this is a waste of time, you ask me. But Sami Zayn had interacting. He talked to Gargano, who's still laying on the crate. He also confronted CM Punk. There was another 10th meeting with him and Kevin Owens. Carmelo Hayes attacked Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin steals a victory over Trick Williams. He retained the U.S. title. He beat Trick Williams again. Carmelo Hayes attacked him backstage after he was taken out by him a couple weeks ago. Now, they did announce 3 title matches next week. Tiffany Stratton will defend her women's U.S. title against J.C. Jane. Baron Corbin will defend his U.S. title against Carmelo Hayes. And then we got the tag team titles, the triple threat for tag team titles. Damian Priest and R-Truth will defend against the MFTs and the War Raiders. We'll see who went there. The War Raiders are still on SmackDown, even though they're the Triple A tag team champion. They should be on the Mexico show, but they're on SmackDown still. Fatal Influence ruined Chelsea Green's moment, her celebration. We had a tag team match with the Fatal Influence against Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. Fatal Influence got the victory after they won. The fact that they pinned, I think it was JC who pinned Chelsea Green, the new women's champion. They didn't say interim, they said the women's champion. Rhea still hurts. He just had surgery. I think Rhea is. Did she vacate the title? Did they strip her the title and just said Chelsea, your new women's champion? We'll have to wait until Rhea comes back. Until then, Chelsea Green, your champion from now on. Now, after she got pinned by Fatal Influence, it was that they were forced to lay out Chelsea Green, Nia Jax, and Last Legend. Nia Jax is going to feud with Chelsea Green for the title. Fantastic. We got to deal with Nia Jax. No offense to Last Legend, but Nia Jax in the World Championship match. Like the down-up woman to see confused with. Now, we had a backstage segment with the War Raiders and Priest and Truth. Damian Priest snapped at R-Truth for making the match official. And then we had a segment with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Very good segment. Cody Rhodes was looking for Randy Orton. Orton came out. Cody came in, demanding to get back in the ring or didn't want to. Cody Rhodes vowed to kill the legend Randy Orton. And then we got a birthday segment or vignette with Nikki Bella explaining why she attacked Paige. Nikki Bella still on TV. We didn't see Brie Bella, but only Nikki. Paige and Nikki are going to be feuding for a bit on SmackDown. Who cares about that? Now, the main event of Monday Night Raw. The main event of Raw was Jay Cardo and Charlotte Flair. Very good match. Alexa Bliss came out with Lily the Doll. She cut the light. The light came on. We get the debut of Tatum Paxley. She went after Michin and B-Fab. Charlotte got the win. She beat Jay Cardo. So we could look at a 6-woman tag with Alexa, Tatum, and Charlotte against Jay Cardo in the Fashion with Michin and B-Fab. Well, that was pretty much SmackDown. Only a 2-hour show. The only thing that's interesting is really Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, CM Punk and Kevin Owens. Those are two bigger feuds tonight. Defeated Influence. Well, Chelsea congrats to Nia Jax. The tag team titles are fine. Paige and Nikki Bella. We didn't see Gunther. Jordan Grace is nowhere to be found. Blake Monroe, I don't think she was on the show. She still has not had a match after making her debut. Alright, so, might as well show some of the podcasters, show y'all the Salcedo. And then I'll show y'all the news and rumors of this. Yeah.
Machine vision is the technology that allows computers to see. A camera.
My guys can fuck off. He almost hit me with a golf cart. Okay.
Or he does it pretty much, like most of the time.
Yep, he kind of does it. He can slowly.
And will. So, very interesting. But I love the responses.
Good stuff. You had to do the return shot. Trick was fired up.
Well, I think that Kevin Owens and CM Punk might do it in Toronto on SmackDown. Well, Money in the Bank is all the way in October. And we got the Triple H show in September, along with Sunday main event.
Bliss. Through.
You are.
Alexa and her are more so like, I was glad we didn't do our show last week because that was a horrible edition of SmackDown from what I gather. And today's SmackDown, a night and day difference. We got so much to dive into. Like, I feel good about today's show.
Oh, we're so freaking back. SmackDown is so stacked. So many great names. Dare I say, I'm like, I wish we had 3 hours. You know, like that's kind of where we're at. It's just bing bong back and forth, whether I hate the 3-hour format or not. But today was one of those shows where I'm like, man, I really enjoyed the show. I wish we had more time for more people. I wish the people that we got to feature got more time. That to me is a sign of a good show when you want more, right? When you're begging for more. When meanwhile, the last 7 months of SmackDown, I'm sitting there fucking with like a virtual knife stabbing myself in the eyeball saying, end it! Let it end! Put me out of my fucking misery! That's been the SmackDown watching experience as of late.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I feel like we've had a turning point, and the turning point was night 2 SummerSlam. That's when I feel things started to look up. Raw delivered. I thought NXT delivered, and then here today, SmackDown absolutely delivered. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was playing an ad, and I thought it was Santi. I was like, Santi, lower your volume. Then I realized it was me. All right, so let's get to it. I want to kick things off with, there's a lot of big stuff that happened here, but I do want to kick things off, I think, with the big thing that once we saw Kevin Owens return at SummerSlam, he wins the Fatal 4-Way. He earns a #1 contendership match. That is going to be happening on the 21st against CM Punk. That is taking place in Toronto. Santi, holy shit, do you actually think Kevin Owens is going to win that strap? And how did you like some of the stuff that was said? Because CM Punk was kind of nasty during this. He got really mean.
he did. Honestly, I kind of felt like he was the bad guy in this. You know, if we're trying to create the good guy, bad guy dynamic, it certainly felt like CM Punk felt the bad guy a little bit more, and Kevin Owens just felt a lot more sympathetic. Somebody said it in my chat, and it's so true. The beauty about Kevin Owens' feuds, for the most part, is that they come from a place of, like, realism. If you think about, like, how fake and manufactured the CM Punk and Cody Rhodes feud felt. Like, oh, you hit me in the face with the belt by accident. Wah. This Kevin Owens feuds always feel like they come from a real visceral place, like a true human emotion, and I felt it here in everything that was said. Like that ending of, like, I strive to make sure I don't end up becoming like you. And I sincerely hope that this business of professional wrestling doesn't turn me into a miserable piece of shit like you. Oh, I felt every single word. It was so good. These two did not disappoint. And that's round one. That's their first interaction, baby. There's still more to come. In terms of your first question, could it happen? Sure. You know, hometown territory, Toronto, Ontario there for Kevin Owens. It's gonna be a fully one-sided crowd for Kevin Owens there. CM Punk, generally in Canada, especially with what happened with Kenny Omega, dating all that, like that far back, isn't the most loved guy in Toronto. He got booed out of the building at Forbidden Door 2023. So, it's going to be a nonpartisan crowd. It's going to be all Kevin Owens. Could he win there? Honestly, yeah. I think they've got themselves a really awesome tale if Kevin Owens can come back from this gruesome injury and super invasive surgery and come out as the WWE champion on the other side. Like, Punk's going to be fine. It's Punk, you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to lose anything here from losing a championship. But what they might be able to do with Kevin Owens is... like, it's uncharted territory and so exciting, and it kind of keeps this magic alive of SmackDown being this unpredictable, awesome show.
Dude, okay, so you hit a lot there, and I want to agree first and foremost. I think the biggest observation that you made is exactly what I was thinking, which was the realism of the feud between Kevin Owens and CM Punk, especially because CM Punk brought up some things about being told, oh, I'm skinny fat, so what do you think, like, your chances were? When CM Punk brought that part up, I thought, oh my God, CM Punk, like, I get what you're trying to say, but what a dick, man. He 100% was the heel in this, and kind of going back to, you know, there were some things that were mentioned a long time ago between Kevin Owens and CM Punk. So to kind of touch on that here today, I really wasn't expecting that, and that part got me going, okay, CM Punk's my go. I'm a big CM Punk fan. Well, you know what? With all that being said, I'm sorry. I want Kevin Owens to win. I hate to say this, and this is going to break my heart to say this right now, but I did not love the work that we saw with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. It broke my heart that the feud sucked, the match sucked, it didn't hit on any level. So I kind of want to go to a place where, hey, what a great story. If one, Kevin Owens were to win the championship, win it in Canada, and here, check this out, Santi. When Sammy won the title, he held it for what, 9 days. Imagine how pissed Sammy is going to be when he sees if Kevin Owens wins that title and actually holds on to it for more than 9 days. And don't forget that before Kevin Owens left when he was injured, he was on a run of a lifetime. The stuff that he was doing with Sammy, the match that he had with Cody Rhodes, that within just that year was extraordinary. So he was kind of hitting on a new level, and I kind of want to go back to that. And I'm not even scared, because when Kevin Owens came back, immediately he's out there flying left and right in his matches. So basically letting people know, hey man, I'm good, I'm healed. You don't need to get nervous about my neck or anything like that. But I was a big fan of this, and I think CM Punk is like, well, we saw two things today, Santi, with shades of both CM Punk and Cody, is that I don't think we're going to see them thread that line anymore, specifically with CM Punk. I think CM Punk, this is the feud that finally sends him in that full direction. One more thing, when Kevin Owens said that part of it must be lonely on your pedestal, and I don't want the wrestling business to turn me into like what you've turned into. That was the part, Santi, that I felt really hit, because you're online, I'm online, a lot of people here watching this show are online, and we see what the detractors, what the people who hate CM Punk, because he's a controversial person in wrestling, we've seen what they have said, and a lot of people have called him, Hogan, Punk Hogan, whatever it is, CM Hogan, there you go. They've said all these things about how he used to say one thing and now he says another thing. So I feel like they were pulling in from a lot of real criticism that he does get from a core group of people, and they brought that into that story, and you heard Kevin Owens essentially throw that in his face.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've had another guy that's been throwing it in his face, but because he's the bad guy and he's a little bit paranoid and he's seen as a little bit crazy and the world's against me, the fans aren't listening. It's just, what a crazy guy Sami Zayn is. The powers that be don't listen. But when Kevin Owens is saying it, when the guy that is just going to be universally beloved because he just came back from this surgery, he has this high pedigree of respect amongst fans. When he says it, and he says it calm, he doesn't say it deranged like Sami Zayn has been saying it. It feels real. It feels like it lands. It feels like it has meaning, and it has like this air of words that could shape the character of Punk moving forward, as opposed to just Punk being like, get a load of this whack job, right?
And you didn't even believe it when he was saying, oh, yeah, you're scared, Kevin Owens. I said, I don't think so, bro. I'm looking at his face right now, and Kevin Owens does not look scared nor concerned whatsoever. So, man, I'm lit up for this. I really like what they're doing here, and this is going to be good stuff, by the way. We got Jeremy here who says, settle the beef with a Quizlemania. Bring it back bigger, stronger, faster, harder. And if you want it bigger, stronger, faster, harder, BlueChew.com, promo code Denise.
Oh, that was fucking immaculate. As somebody that is a professional sellout, I have to give you all kinds of props. Oh, well done.
Professional sellout. Damn, Santi.
Yeah,
I'm going to get you with the chancla.
Honest, I'm so proud of you. I want to, reach to the screen and give you, the biggest sellout hug. I love it. I love it.
Let's go. Hey, did you ever get to do Quizlemania?
I did. I did one with you.
You did a different version of Quizlemania, though, huh? It was a different version. Yeah.
I might have. I don't remember.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Jeremy. We got some trainer names here who says, which two superstars do you think could put on an excellent non-wrestling chess feud? It could be male versus male, female versus female, or male versus female. Okay, I got a non-wrestler because I hear this person has a very high IQ. So I'm going to say Kathy Kelly because I heard she's really smart. So Kathy Kelly, I'm putting in there. And how about this? This is an odd one. This is not a current wrestler, but someone who I also think has an intrigued mind. Raven. I would book Raven versus Kathy Kelly in a chess match. That's the most random thing ever. What about you, Santi?
While I talk, you should try and figure out your stuff. You're roboting there.
Not dead.
Yeah. I'll go with Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul also has this high IQ. He says he has a high IQ at least. So I think Logan Paul on a chessboard, would be kind of interesting. Maybe like a Logan Paul versus, okay, this is random. Give me the Monster Abyss on a chessboard. Why not?
Okay, so wait, who'd you put Abyss with who? I missed the first part.
Paul.
Logan Paul?
He's also got a high IQ. He and Kathy Kelly were talking about their high IQs.
What the hell? Okay, that's funny. Also, am I still robot mode right now?
You're way better.
Okay, thank you. I've been having issues, so it is what it is. Alrighty, now I completely lost off where I left off, but I will come back to that. Alright, thank you so much, trainer, for James. We also got Nothing Happens 96 here. It says Cody and Randy blood feud ending in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. Alright, well, let's talk about this because we saw that this was kickstarting off once again, that they were going to redo this feud, and I'm so happy, Santi, because we all know what a shit show they gave us last time between Cody Randy and Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll, who had to be part of this. I see this as now WWE saying, you know what, guys, we fucked up, we know it, and we're out here and we're trying to get things back in order. At least I would hope that that's what they're doing here. But Cody, the biggest thing from this is that Cody said he no longer has to be a good guy. The whole time he has this voice going. So that's, when you know Cody's really serious. It's when he hits that voice. So I'm liking what they're doing here. I just want them to redo everything and make us forget what we saw in the past. And then, with Cody bringing up, you are the only legend here, even though that's not necessarily true, but who is going to be the one who kills you? That was a good line right there, because it made me think, are they trying to get Cody to retire Randy Orton? Or is, hey, out of nowhere, Gunther going to pop up and be the career killer to end Randy? I don't think Randy's actually done, but Santi, what did you make of this?
I love the segment. I did. I'm like, this is the most refreshing that Cody Rhodes has felt. Additionally, when I kept seeing this segment, I'm like, aha, this is what it should have been from the beginning. You know, and I said in my stream, yeah, I'm never going to forgive TKO for what they fucking did to this feud. You know, like turning it into some Mickey Mouse club with all the celebrity involvement with Pat McAfee. Not just in the build-up and then in the actual main event itself. I'll never forgive them for what they did there. This is what it's always meant to be. Just two dudes with a ton of history with one another and letting them go to war. They have so much history with one another that you barely even need to scratch the surface to give us a blood feud worthy segments and promos and whatnot. This, for WrestleMania 41, Denise, this should have always been the easiest match in Feud the Book. It should have always been the easiest one. But they overcomplicated it. They added too many toppings, at the ice cream parlor, and then you turn a delicious, succulent vanilla ice cream into this hodgepodge of a mess that looks like it's like 5 Ben and Jerry's flavors put together, and you ruin the original blend, the original flavor. It feels like we're back to vanilla ice cream. Delicious, delicious, ice cold, creamy vanilla ice cream, which is what this feud should have been the entire time.
Yeah, I almost feel like I don't even have any demands. I'm just happy that we don't got, the addition of Pat and Jelly Roll. Just stick to what we're doing. I want to erase that part. I want to pick up from that contract signing that they had where the initial blood and feud and everything that started happening, Randy attacking Cody. I want to pick up from there to here. That's it. Everything else, I'm just going to pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
We got Nothing Happens 96.
Denise, fix yourself. Stop. Fix yourself again. Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? Oh my gosh. Everything was working so fine, I swear.
It's my fault. See, it's your system. It forgets that we do the Friday shows, so it's bugging out. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Baby, my heart's on fire. Baby, you're my desire. Sorry.
What the hell just happened?
Nah, don't worry about it.
I swear to God, you can ask everybody here. Everything was working just fine before you got here. I swear to God. I jinxed myself because I told everybody, oh, everything's going great now. And then the second that you came in, everything went to the shits.
I know what's happening. It's retribution.
It's retribution.
Yep. No. Mustafa Ali and Retribution, Slapjack, again, Maple Joe, what are their names?
I don't know, but it's stressing me out. It's pissing me off. All right, we got Nothing Happens 96 here. That's called it on Santi's stream. Sammy is going to get involved with KO versus Punk and Triple Threat at next week's Sunday night main event because Roman's not bucket. Cousin Sammy's going to get involved with KO versus CM Punk, Triple Threat next week. I hope not. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Santi, you want that?
No. I'd rather, I said, and I think it could happen. I'd rather KO just win, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, no, I don't want them. I'm going to say pass. Yeah. Thank you. Nothing happens. We got Carlos here who says, Denise and Santi, when Tatum's debut, do you guys think this will go down the route of Mickey Trish and become overly obsessed with Alexa? I don't think it'll go that route, but I was just thinking the other day how I would like a modern version of Mickey and Trish today, like nowadays, but I don't know. Do you think they can still get away with doing a storyline like that?
Not to that degree.
Boo.
Yeah. I mean, believe me. 13, 14-year-old Santi love that feud in all kinds of ways.
Santi, I could just imagine you as a little kid going, HLA, HLA. Do you remember HLA?
Oh, a little good old hot lesbian action? How could Santi forget? No blue chew needed back then, fellas.
I was in the crowd for that one time, and I was like 10, okay?
You were in the crowd for hot lesbian action? Wait, did Eric Bischoff...
It was the one with Stephanie.
Did he bring out the lesbians?
I don't remember what was happening, but I remember Stephanie was in the ring, and the whole crowd was chanting HLA. And I was standing there like this.
Yeah, so to me, one of my favorite, because it looks like it's fake, but it's real. Back then, the Monday Night Raw lower third that showed like who's coming out, there were the two girls coming out, and the lower third said the lesbians. I gotta find it. It's so fucking funny.
Oh man! But with that being said, Tatum Paxley is now officially on the Smackdown brand. So we had kind of gotten the idea that she was going to get called up, but I originally thought that she would get called up over on the Raw side and maybe do something with Lyra Valkyria, especially now after she's doing what she's doing, her whole tortured act. So I thought that was what was going to go down. Then people started saying, oh yeah, there's rumors that Tatum Paxley is backstage here at the show today, so maybe she comes out. I was not expecting Tatum specifically to link up with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, but the moment that Alexa Bliss came out and the lights came down, that's when we knew, okay, this is totally going to be Tatum. And Santi, I have some lore here that is fitting for this channel. My interview that I did with Tatum Paxley, that was the interview where she revealed that her idol to get into pro wrestling was Alexa Bliss, and then Alexa Bliss saw that and tweeted about it. So I feel very connected to this joint partnership of Alexa, Charlotte, and now Tatum Paxley.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great full circle story. I'm glad you shared that. I mean, it's such a match made in heaven, but I do question it not because of the quality, because I think it's great. I question the allocation of talent across Raw and SmackDown, because I look at where Tatum would have had a lot. It's interesting because I do think she's going to flourish because she's being allowed to stand on the shoulders of giants. Getting to work with Charlotte and Alexa, boom, that's a massive vote of confidence. But Raw needed her way more. Just genuinely needed her way more. But the thing is I don't know that WWE would have had the confidence to deploy a main roster Tatum Paxley by herself on Monday Night Raw. I think that they feel a lot more confident deploying her alongside existing known commodity acts like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. So my then question is, the other big NXT call-up around the corner is Lola Vice. And I thought Lola was the one that was due for SmackDown because of Damian Priest. They tend to keep couples together, right? I still think she goes to SmackDown. Now I think we're just jam-packing SmackDown too much. Let's not forget that that's a show that still has Julia not being used, that still has Jordan Grace not being used, that still has Kiana James, who they forgot that they were trying to push, that has Blake motherfucking Monroe just sort of waiting there. So maybe the solution here isn't, okay, let's put Tatum to Raw. Maybe the solution is let's take some of those names I just mentioned and send them over to Monday Night Raw and give those talented individuals time to, at least the opportunity to sink or swim on a show that actually has room to give them the ability to sink or swim. Because right now they're all just being drowned. They're not even given the opportunity to sink or swim.
Yeah, no, I completely think you're right about that, especially because it's funny because I want the SmackDown division to stay as is. I like all the girls on there. I do wish that, like you said, I want to see Blake Monroe finally have a match on the show. I want to see Jordan Grace get anything on this show. I want to see them continue what they were doing with Kiana James, and it feels like they're not continuing that. All of that, right? But I like the depth that the roster on SmackDown has for the women, and I don't even want them to go switch over to Raw. I just want Raw to have its own version of that. I'm okay if we don't see the same persons each and every single week on the show. I'm okay with that. I don't want there to be a ton of time in between, hey, the last time we saw this person or the last time we saw that person. I mean, they were doing a really great start with Blake Monroe. The vignettes were really great. I like the attacks. All of that was fantastic. But now we're sitting here on our hands wondering when this woman is going to finally have a match. I'm thinking, Santi, that maybe they're waiting for somebody, I don't know who, to maybe come back, be in here, and get that whole story going. But right now with the Chelsea Green stuff that they got going with her and Tiffy, then they got the Charlotte Jade stuff, then they got the Alexa stuff. It feels very, very crowded there right now. It feels like the worst time ever to go to that 2-hour. This is where it should have been when we were at those 3-hour shows. It almost feels like we just kind of got it a little bit backwards here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I believe SmackDown is going back to 3 hours in January.
Yeah.
What I fear is that we'll be shit by then.
Well, they're all going to be, all the girls are going to be on Raw.
Now it's going to be shit, and now we need more people on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the catch-22 of, like, the inconsistency of 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. I think it prevents WWE from, like, figuring out how many bodies do we need on this show. Because sometimes they have too many for a 2-hour show, and then when we get to a 3-hour show, oh shit, we don't have enough. So, I think what they should, I hope that one day they just figure out this is just forever, perennially a 3-hour show or perennially a 2-hour show.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we got Stephen Martrulli here who says SmackDown was hot tonight. Do you think Tiffany keeps her belt with her and Blake's starting program over as U.S. title? So there's kind of a lot here. First of all, we haven't even touched on the fact that Rhea Ripley is going to be out for much longer than many people might have anticipated. She did reveal that she had surgery on her knee, and so now it's going to be several months. Now, Santi, I don't know if you caught this, but everybody was bringing up the fact that they never mentioned that that Chelsea Green is an interim champion. That was never mentioned. But now I'm wondering what goes on here with the Chelsea Tiffany story. I'm most thinking that they're just going to keep challenging for the interim championship and they're just going to treat it as a normal belt until Rhea finally comes back. Now I feel like it's almost too late for them to say, oh, yeah, now it's the real belt. It's not an interim championship anymore. I feel like it's too late for that.
Yeah, Denise, leave. I'll answer the question because you're back to being a robot. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal, baby, my heart's on fire, baby, you're my desire, baby, you lose me, honey, you lose me, then you'll be hey, baby, when I'm the one you're So I think that when it comes to Rhea Ripley, she should just vacate. You all right? You're still a robot.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You're not even here. It's just a black screen.
No way. Okay, that's fucking weird. All right, I'll come back again.
Yeah, come back. Hello, No, I'm not gonna do that again. That's the Looney Tunes frog, in case you don't know the reference. That dances and sings when people aren't watching. Anyways, I think that Rhea Ripley should just vacate this championship at this point. Like, what are we trying to protect here? You know, like, are we trying to protect her, like, number of days as champion? Like, it's just an arbitrary number at this point. Now, why we would want to keep the championship on Rhea Ripley is absolutely beyond me. Like, it makes no sense at all whatsoever. Like, if you had hopes for her to return for SummerSlam, okay. If you had hopes for her to return shortly after SummerSlam, okay. But when you have a champion in Chelsea Green, when you have sharks around the water around Chelsea Green, you don't need to hang on to this idea that Rhea Ripley is still the women's WWE champion. Just have her lose it and have her... You know what I would have done? I would have had her interrupt Chelsea Green if possible and told her, you're not the interim champion, you're the champion, and mommy will be on top again, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then you get a little bit of sympathy for her. You know, you feel bad. Like, you know, this is somebody that wanted to be here, but she can't, and now she's forced to vacate. But instead, now we've got this mystery of, like, is Rhea Ripley the champion? And I think the biggest disservice is that it takes away from talking about Chelsea Green being the champion, and it forces us to talk about something that isn't even playing out on our screens, which is Rhea Ripley's injury.
Santi, am I back?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I wasn't even sure if I was on the screen or not. I was just like, what is happening here? But yeah, no, I think everything that I caught you hearing was pretty good. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what is happening. We got Suicide Cowboy here who says, Ayo, Santi, we need to address Denise hating on SummerSlam Night 1. Rightfully so. That show stunk. Sorry. Santi, you're crazy. That was an awful show.
Okay,
Name one redeeming quality.
I don't even remember what happened on Night 1.
Exactly. There you go. Point proven. The show sucked. If it rocked, you would be here being like, Denise, X, Y, and motherfucking Z. And there was none of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
You're kind of making a good... Okay, Liv Morgan.
We had a terrible main event. Okay, but even then, if you put that match up against any of the other matches that we have seen, for example, Io Sky have, it didn't come close to some of her other defenses.
It was still a good match, all right? Stop trying to take away from the match simply because you've seen better ones. You entitled little wrestling brat, you. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky was great, okay? The six-man tag match is universally liked. I don't know what you're talking about. People really like the six-man tag match.
Oh,
They love the stuff.
Wait, are you talking about the women's one?
No, we're talking about the Bloodline versus Solo, LA Knight, and Royce Keys.
Oh,
People really like that
was
match.
okay. I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh my god, it was so great. I didn't even, whatever.
I like Gunther versus Nick Aldis.
It wasn't SummerSlam level. Gunther and Nick Aldis, it was right for the moment, sure, but it wasn't anything massive.
Yeah, well,
all of these matches are forgettable.
Your own show is disagreeing with you. It's not even letting you talk. Robot Denise, AI Denise.
Gosh. Okay. You know what? I retired. I retired this fucking show. I'm so mad. Thank you, Suicide Cowboy. All right. I'm here. I'm gonna log on to my other computer.
Okay.
The worst thing ever. Okay. We also got CJ Little here says, I get vibes of different Dark Alexa from Alexa tonight. Tatum could be her apprentice like she said she would evolve as Alexa said Dark Alexa is retired. And notice Alexa wasn't celebrating. Yeah. So I don't know what can be done here, but I'm intrigued by how this is going to change Alexa Bliss. Am I getting through?
You are, yeah. It's tough. It's tough to make out what you're saying, but I made it through. Like, could we be looking at this, this added crazy person into the group, leading to finally the breakup of Alexa and Charlotte Flair, or is that just never gonna happen?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm wondering too. Like, if that's ever gonna happen, so what's the cause of all of this? Like, who knows? Maybe Tatum and Alexa end up being the thing that tears the group apart. Okay, thank you, Mr. CJ Lilly. All right, we got JJ Castillo here. Hold on, I'm trying to log into my desktop. Hold on.
I'll read this one. I'll read it.
Okay, you read it. Yeah,
do your
go
thing.
for it.
JJ Castillo with the 5 Canadian says, I'm excited to see this triple. You say, are you serious, dude? Triple and then 3 A's? What do you want me to do with this language, with this message? I'm excited. Come on, if you're gonna send super chats, figure it out. It's either 3 A's or triple with 1 A. Anyways, I'm excited to see this AAA tournament, to see who faces Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship, and the match will on Raw on September 14th in Mexico City. I am so hyped. Well, shout out to AAA. And yes, I am pumped for this tournament, although I do think that this tournament, the way that the bracket was set up, it's pretty obvious that they're setting up Penta versus Rey Fenix, which I'm not going to complain about. I think the more interesting conversation is, where does Penta versus Rey Fenix take place if they do end up doing Penta versus Rey Fenix as the final of that tournament? Because the tournament ends with that match against Roman in Mexico City on Raw. Is there room where the final of that tournament ends up being on Triple Mania? Because if it is Penta versus Rey Fenix, that's a hell of maybe a night 1 main event closer for Triple Mania in Las Vegas. That's entirely possible as well. Sure, the whole tournament could play out on Monday Night Raw, and it probably will. I think I am being a little bit hopeful that maybe the tournament ends at Triple Mania, but so be it. Hello, Denise.
Does that work at all?
You're working.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just switched to my desktop. That's all I did. Oh my god, this is the worst thing ever.
It's not working.
No way. Oh my
that's
god,
serious.
All right, you know what? I'm almost thinking you're gonna have to finish out this show then. I'm gonna click on I'm just gonna click on the super chats and just like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you don't have to do that. I can find the super chats here. I've got them here.
Oh, you've got them on your end too?
Yeah, I just have the chat open. I found the last one, and now I'll just scroll down and read them all.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Will Chisholm with the 2 says Penta versus Roman in Mexico will feed miles. I think you meant families. What are with these people and their messages that they're sending in? But yes, will it feed families? Yes. I don't know that Miles can be fed, though. Unless you're talking about people named Miles. If it's an entire group of people named Miles, then yeah, they'll probably feast pretty well, my friend. That match is going to be awesome, and I feel pretty confident in that being the way that it's going to ultimately shape out. It just makes a tremendous amount of sense. We had Jangwin with the 2 says Tatum's debut, fire. Blake, meanwhile, gets nada. Sad but true. Blake Monroe stuck in fucking purgatory, seemingly, which is unforgivable. Like, genuinely just unforgivable to be treating somebody like the talent of Blake Monroe the way that they are. Unacceptable. How do I even say this? Art House Cinema Lad with the 5 says, I wonder if CM Punk has it in his contract where people can't mention anything major. KO could easily bury him on the mic. I think Oba faces Punk. Well, I think there needs to be a balancing act, right? Like, you're not trying to just bury somebody for the sake of burying somebody. Like, yeah, think about like Logan Paul. Think about how easy it would be to beat Logan Paul in a promo if you go, haha, you made fun of a guy that committed suicide in a forest, right? There's things that can be mentioned in promos and can't be mentioned in promos, because if you go over the line, yeah, okay, you might bring more heat, but you might actually do so much damage to your opponent where it actually like damages the storyline in the match. So there needs to be a balance in terms of the things that get brought up. Welcome back, Denise.
So I swear to God, I'm sitting in the hallway on the floor next to my mother effing router, okay? So if this doesn't work, I don't know what is gonna work.
We can try it.
Okay.
We can try it. Your camera's bad, but your audio's okay. All right.
Just take over the show. It's the lighting. Just take over the show, navigate it, handle the super chats, and I'll be here as whatever I am.
Yeah. You're just here for the Blue Chew ads. That's what you're here for.
Okay, go for it.
All right, we had Sleazy Boy with a 2 who says, SummerSlam match idea. I think you meant SummerSlam, but SS could also be Survivor Series. Team Deborah's Cookies versus Jade Leche. I don't understand this. Is this a joke you understand, Denise?
No, definitely not.
Cool. Well, thank you. I don't understand it. Suicide Cowboy with the 5 says, AI Denise is the Cortana to Santi's Master Chief. Santi is 343 Guilty Spark. Wow, that is such a nerdy message. I understood every single one of the words that you said there. I know it'll all go over Denise's head. It's a Halo reference. I'll just say, I understand everything, and I'm just going to move on. That's actually our last super chat.
Shut up. Are you kidding me?
That's it. You fixed it all towards the end of the show. You spent this whole fucking show. This show, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the most inconsistent show on the internet.
I swear to God, everyone here knows that this has never happened to this degree before. Like, I'm not kidding you. Yesterday I did my AEW stream just fine. Everything was fine. I don't know what happened at all. This match came yesterday, by the way, and they upgraded everything. Even changed the line outside in the polls and everything. So
are you hardwired or are you wireless?
Yeah, dude, I have no idea. So I think the reason that this is happening is because they're like doing stuff around the city, is what I've been told.
Denise,
like they're fixing.
I think you just gotta do the world a favor here and put the chat out of its misery and end this episode.
Oh no! All right, so do we read all the super chats though?
Yeah, we're caught up. I read a whole bunch.
Alrighty, sorry everybody. Sorry, Santi. Alright, everyone. Have a great stream. Bye.
Bye.
At Citizens Private Bank, we believe you.
Check him.
Emmy, the Song Monster, what's going on, man?
Man, that brought back memories when he was talking about the new generation. I said, man, yet you had to be there. It was a moment in time. Business was not quite as strong back during that new generation as it is today.
1994, huh?
Those were lean times.
Yes.
They really were. They really were. But man, they had their core. They had their core guys. So we'll see. We'll see who the core guys of this new generation are going to be. We know Oba is going to be leading the pack. He was eyeballing somebody last night. Maybe he'll be the other guy. And I don't know. It'll be exciting to see. So, I mean, do you want to... I'm looking at these names, and, I mean, you tell me if you agree with me or not. The finals of this almost has to be or should be Jon Moxley and Jay White.
Well, listen, that's the first thing I thought of, but I'm low-key hoping for Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, but that's going back to something they've already done before. But dude, Eddie Kingston's had 2 matches on AEW television this year.
I know.
So, I mean, to me, you're going back to that well. He hasn't been on AEW television since the beginning of the year, and there have been issues lately on TV between the Death Riders and the Bang Bang Gang. So it kind of ties into that as well. And I just think that's probably the biggest match that you could hope for, right, at the end of all this. So that's what I would be doing. That's what I would be building to.
All right, well, the way that I look at this is there's a huge problem. There's a glaring problem with these tournaments that he puts together. Why is most of it just nonsensical? I don't care about any of this nonsense on TV. Like, you can honestly tell who's going to win and who's going to lose out of these first-round matches. Like, why is it so predictable? Why does he book tournaments in a way where it's like he throws matches at you for the sake of throwing matches at you, but then there's no real thought process behind any of the winners and losers here?
Well, because they literally are billing this as a blind draw.
Oh, someone's blind, apparently.
Well, the winners of the first round, that's why there's no brackets for the next round, because whoever wins these first-round matches...
Oh, we know it's not a blind draw. He shows these matches because this is what he wants to do.
Well, but he's going to choose them in such a way that it seems random, to where it's intended. See, but now he can justify it by saying the whole point of it is that it's a blind draw, so if it feels random, it's supposed to be that way. So the next round of the tournament is a blind draw, so you never know what the matches are going to be. I think that's the idea behind it. I have a few issues with this. First of all, I have 2 issues. First of all, there does not need to be a Continental Championship. I kind of wish that if we were going to do this, keep the cup, ditch the belt. Because the belt is not needed.
Well, he's not going to do that.
Well, I'm saying I think he should. Because
I agree with you.
Okay, well, I just don't think it's needed. The other thing is, I don't understand. I know he loves doing tournaments. You already have the Continental Classic, round-robin style, later in the year, right? We don't need another Continental tournament, but you...
This at the top, Motor City Machine Guns, they made their debut on Collision. Did you, A, catch their appearance when they're coming in? Dynamite, Andrade, he...
mental stuff. So, yeah, I thought the 3 key matches on that All-In card, they did a good job coming right out of the pay-per-view of, serving us up our first sort of helping of promotion for each and trying to get us hyped up for it. And now they just have to flesh out the rest of the card, and they have some other big matches that they're planning for that show. So we'll see. We'll see when MJF. You think they hold MJF out if he is going to be in the gauntlet as a surprise, and we don't see him until Wembley?
If he doesn't have a solid direction for a storyline with another wrestler, yes, I just hold him off and have him come back as a surprise in the match. Yeah. Okay. I just find I take great offense to him finding a spot on Wembley via that road.
Well, I have less sympathy.
We didn't need to be there.
No, but I have less sympathy if the reports are true and it was his idea. Then hey.
If it's his idea, that's what he wanted. I don't really feel too bad.
It was his idea. The only takeaway I have from that is that he needed time off because he was hurting. And maybe the idea was get the belt off me now. Want to make sure that I'm 100% for that Wembley show. I do not want to miss that Wembley show, so let's do it now, and then I'll be able to take time off. If that's the case, then that was his choice. That's on him.
All right, we'll see. Hopefully he is there. Keeping up with, I know we just talked about Grand Slam Mexico, and that's tomorrow night for Dynamite. Jason went over the entire card, which hopefully will be a mix of Dynamite and Collision and just not all Dynamite.
Now, there were people in the chat who said they looked it up in their TV guide. It sounds fucking ancient now, but in their guide, and it's showing a 2.5-hour show tomorrow night.
Well, I expected no less, so I was ready for that. But that is tomorrow. We'll keep with Mexico because WWE's got some news here, two notes here going into Mexico. One with AAA here in Las Vegas, and then obviously the big show coming up All Out weekend in Chicago, the same weekend as All Out. We'll start with this one. AAA, Triple Mania 34, moved to a new venue in Las Vegas due to the unprecedented demand of this show. Now, it was supposed to take place on Friday, September 11th at the Luxor in Las Vegas. It will now be held at the MGM Grand Arena, and the event date and start time will remain unchanged. Now, they did not confirm, but it appears fans who purchased tickets for Triple Mania when it was scheduled for the Luxor will have it transferred over to the MGM Grand, with the release stating that those fans will receive further information. And new pre-sale for more tickets will begin next Tuesday, or actually yesterday, August 3rd. So that is with AAA and Triple Mania 34 moving to the MGM Grand. That's a great look. I don't know. I think they sold them out. The first allotment in the Luxor, they sold them out almost immediately.
Yeah, but dude, the Luxor is tiny. I mean, like, the venue that they were going to run there, maybe at the most, I think, because they had sold out their allotment of tickets, at the most, maybe it was 1,500 seats.
So now they're moving to what, 20?
Well, I think it's more like, no, it's not 20. I think it's somewhere in the range of like 11 to 15, maybe somewhere in that range.
Do you think they sell it out?
No. Huh. I think they'll sell a lot more tickets. They may come close. I don't think it'll be a sellout.
Well, that's what's happening there. 2 nights for Triple Mania, one in Mexico and then one in Las Vegas. So it's happening over that same weekend. Then we saw what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw. And Roman Reigns was confronted by Rey Mysterio at the end of Raw last night. And Rey told Roman, I didn't know if you know, I am the general manager of AAA. And Roman's like, well, now I know.
Yeah,
I
don't pay attention to what's going on, so now, thanks for informing me. Now I know.
I don't watch any of this garbage when I'm not, there.
What is this? I love this, like, running gag here. Like, you have all the top names who admit, like Brock did, like, I don't watch the show. So it's like, when they're not around, they're not watching any of this shit. So they have no idea what's going on.
No, they don't care whatsoever. It goes in line with Roman anyway. So he told Rey, now I know. And then Rey says he wants to run something by him. And they walk off, and the show goes off the air with them walking together off to the side. Now, I immediately thought that, and I put out a tweet. I'm sure you thought the same thing. They are getting ready to use Roman Reigns in a capacity for this all-out weekend show on September 26th when they go into the Allstate Arena. Is that what you think they're doing?
Oh, yeah. I was shocked that everybody immediately thought of
Triple Mania.
Yeah. And I'm like, they're not doing Triple Mania. They're doing Worlds Collide, baby. Like, that's...
When these are Roman and Punk is fucking counter-programming now, for AEW.
When they first announced that show for Chicago for the 26th next month, I said, you watch, I guarantee you they're going to book CM Punk on that show. They're going to load that show up. It is very transparent why they're doing it. So, yeah, my first thought was not Triple Mania, or I think there's something else right at the end of this month, all in weekend. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about...
they got Heat Wave, yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about Worlds Collide. I don't know. I would tell people to pump the brakes on the idea that, oh, my God, Roman Reigns is going to wrestle on that show. I don't know that he's going to wrestle on that show. My thought was... I mean, he could. I could add a date for him, I guess. My guess would be, if I had to venture a guess about what this might be about, it's not so much about Roman wrestling on the show. It could be a case where Rey wants to talk to him, and maybe instead of Roman wrestling on the show, Roman sends some of his family to wrestle on the show, and this could be our way of getting the Usos and the Lucha Bros on that show. If he sends the Usos, and you get Penta and Rey Fenix to team up together, which I don't think they've done yet in WWE, we get that tag team match on that show.
I like the way you think, Solid Monster.
There you go. There you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
Falsely advertising Roman Reigns on that show, and then it ends up being his family. Why not, man? It's par for the course with WWE.
Hey, they didn't advertise anything. They just went off to have a conversation.
Yes. Punk will wrestle, though, right?
Who? Oh, Punk? Yeah,
Punk, yeah.
It's Chicago. I'd be very surprised.
Now, who do they put in the ring with him? Who do they got over there that would match well with Punk?
Well, you would think it would have to be a AAA guy, no?
Yeah.
Well, then who would be... Vikingo was like the top heel there, right after the Americano stuff ended. Yeah. Who would be the top...
Maybe he wrestles Dominic.
Now, at McDonald's, wake up to a $4 breakfast meal deal. Wake up to a sausage McMuffin or a sausage biscuit, to hash browns, and wake up to a hot coffee. Get your $4 breakfast meal deal.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
We've seen that, though. That's boring.
Yeah. Omos?
No, I don't want want to see that match at all.
Think you can get Omos up for a GTS?
I would not bet against Punk. I think you could.
At 48?
At 48, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the only one I can think of as far as like big names, I mean, they could do Kaiser, right? They could do Americano against Punk.
Yeah.
I just feel like, well, it's Chicago, so I mean, they'll be into it because Punk is there. But I think it would resonate more if it was in Mexico, though,
yes.
like crowd-wise. So that's the only thing with that. But yeah, I would be very surprised if Punk doesn't wrestle. Maybe it's a tag match. It could be a tag match. It doesn't have to be a singles match. But yeah, I would just tell people, like, I'm not saying Roman wouldn't wrestle on the show. I'm just saying don't assume because he went off to have a conversation with Ray that it automatically means, oh my God, Roman Reigns is making his AAA debut. I like the idea of being able to have a match like the Usos and the Lucha Bros because to me that's an attraction.
Yeah.
I think that would sell tickets.
Well, if that's the case and they do end up announcing that match, I know what I will be watching that weekend.
You've already made your choice.
Yes, I've already made my choice, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All Out hasn't been special since the day Punk debuted there against Darby Allin. I mean.
Well, what was I think a couple of years ago, right? The main event was Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy?
Yeah. And
then last year it was Hangman and Fletcher?
Yeah. And I think Bryan and Jack Perry was one of them, too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's the type of show that is. Yeah, so Lucha Brothers and the Usos, please, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, because I think we were supposed to get the Lucha Bros earlier this year, and I think one of them got hurt. I think Phoenix.
Yeah.
So they ended up not doing it. So you still have that as like your kind of the ace up your sleeve, where like for the first time ever in WWE, we get Penta and Phoenix together.
Yeah, I like it. Should have happened already, but if they do it at least once, I'm not going to complain. So that's that there. We will now shift gears over to what happened this weekend. SummerSlam, or what I like to call Summer Scam. Half of it was Summer Scam. Most of it was. But largely, to me...
Sponsor Slam?
Sponsor Slam, whatever you want to call it. I heard people all weekend claiming this was a great show and this was one of the best SummerSlams of all time. I'm like, guys,
Who said that?
Bro, listen.
You're making that up.
No, I'm not.
Who said that it's the greatest SummerSlam of all time?
I saw tweets on my recommended.
Yeah, someone who's been watching wrestling for 2 years, maybe, would say that it was the greatest SummerSlam of all time.
It won't even rank in the top 15. Give me a break.
I thought, on the whole, because you judge it from the two shows together, I said it was a good show. I said it's not a great show. Coming out of night one was very middle of the road. There was some good, there was bad. Night two was much better than night one, which I did not expect coming in.
All right, I'll stop you. Why? Because of the impact of the returns and the moments on night two?
Because I had more. I thought night two was more enjoyable than night one. It felt more like a special show because there was a lot of things going on. We got a couple of title changes. We got none on the first night. We had a bunch of returns, which was nice, right? Because they love those moments. Kevin Owens returning, that was a genuine, this is great moment. I'm so happy to see him back. Chelsea Green winning, I didn't think they would do it. I really didn't. And then when she did, I was happy for her. And you saw the reaction from the crowd. Everybody jumped up. It was like this big moment. The match itself, I thought was terrible. But the ending to that match was another one of those moments. And then the main event, I thought the main event was excellent. I see a lot of divided opinion about that main event, so I don't know if I'm in the minority on that. But I thought the Punk and Cody match from night one, it picked up towards the end, but I was bored for most of it.
Yeah, it didn't move me.
So to me, for what I was hoping that it would be, it was a big disappointment. Roman and Seth, did it need 33 minutes? No. Because unfortunately a lot of the other matches got shortchanged, and that was my biggest issue with these shows. But I thought the main event was very strong, and so when the show was over, that more than night one felt like a SummerSlam to me. When I put the two of them together, I'm willing to go to 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10 for the week.
Oh, for the weekend? You're more generous than I am. I'll give it a 5.5.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but that's why I say it was good. I can't say that I wouldn't say it was terrible, because there was stuff on there that I liked. If night two went the way that night one did, I probably would say what you just said and give it a fucking 5 or a 5.5.
Now, was it better? In totality, was it better than Mania? I would say yes. Even though I don't think any of the matches on SummerSlam topped Roman and Punk. I thought Roman and Punk was easily the best match in WWE all year, outside of Kaiser and Gable.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would give it the edge over Mania.
Okay.
Although the Roman and Punk match I thought was better than Roman and Seth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the stronger main event.
The one problem I had with SummerSlam, and I have repeated this so much, it's nauseating. And I said this to Coach, and obviously, everybody there is in agreement. He was in agreement as well. Night one was a little bit more, I would say, full. You had matches that could have went longer, but you look at the match times, and they were suitable. They were all right. Like, I could have added maybe 3 or 4 minutes to Nick Aldis. I could have added... Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, I want to give a shout-out to Chase, who's a fan of the show. And he sent me, like, a little chart, because I was curious. I had looked it up with the amount of wrestling relative to the amount of just everything else on the shows. So for the first night, in terms of in-ring, in terms of wrestling, we had not even 90 minutes of wrestling. So by percentage, in terms of that first night, maybe 40% of the show was in-ring.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning. Was online in minutes. Then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Ring. And it wasn't much better for night 2.
No, there was less than 50 minutes of pro wrestling on night 2.
So think about that. Like 60% of the show was entrances, commercials, just whatever other bullshit they had. Anything but actual in-ring action. Which, it just blows my mind, because traditionally, these PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them, like, you expect it with the television shows. When you get to these events were always the ones where you got, like, the big matches, and they had time, right? I'm not saying as much time as every match got at Redemption, because every match at Redemption felt like a 20-minute marathon. But they got time, right? These were the premium events. What's so premium about this? They call them premium live events, but when you get, when not even, I mean, dude, like, not even 90 minutes on a 3-hour plus show. That's crazy to me.
This is the first thing I led with on my Sunday stream. For less than 50 minutes of pro wrestling on night 2 on a show that went 3.5 hours. And then people are telling me, why don't you have fun with it? How the fuck am I supposed to have fun with it if, look at these times. You got a match with Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Gunther that goes 8 minutes and 30 seconds. On what planet? Then you got Baron Corbin and Trick Williams in 9 minutes. Fine. Nobody was really excited about that to begin with. The ladder match went 13 minutes. Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio went 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Shad Gable and Penta went 11 minutes and 10 seconds. We watched Sol Ruca and Roxanne Perez last night go 14 minutes. I don't understand. And then Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, if you factor in the entrances and the ring introductions, it's got to be near 50 minutes. One hour of a 3.5-hour show was taken up by one match.
If you factor in the entrances and everything, it was between 45 and 50 minutes. Yeah. And Chad Gable, in his hometown, so you knew this was going to be like a big crowning moment for him, and they get 11 minutes. They got the same amount of time that Brock Lesnar and Obafemi had inside Hell in a Cell. We had an 11-minute Hell in a Cell match. Do you realize Liv Morgan and Io Sky had more time than Brock and Oba did in the Cell?
Well, I've been loaded with ammunition for that. I hated that match. I hated it. So I don't understand it. Do you have any logical reasoning as to why we get less pro wrestling on the PLEs and more pro wrestling on the weekly televisions when honestly it should be reversed? What are we paying for?
Well,
what are these people paying for?
When SummerSlam was over, I felt like this did not need to be 2 nights.
No.
And I felt like a couple of matches would have to be scrubbed, but you would be better off doing 7 or 8 matches in one night. The reason we don't get it is because then they wouldn't be able to have as many ads. So to answer your question, it's because they want to run more ads. That's their bread and butter right there.
Okay.
That's the simple answer.
Okay, well, I mean, they don't have to go 3.5 hours. They could go 4.5 hours and add more time to the actual pro wrestling aspect, can't they? Or are they just 3.5 hours hard out? That's all they got. There are a lot of 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's in their contract, but I don't think they want to go 4.5 hours. And if you're doing 2 nights, you don't need to go 4.5.
No,
the
you
whole
don't.
point of
You
doing
don't.
2 nights, silly me. I thought part of the benefit of doing 2 nights is that these matches would be able to get more time. But the reason they don't is because it would cut into the commercial time, and we can't have that. So you have to have time for all, whether it's a blimp that's flying by and will identify the blimp, or actual commercials, or a mug root beer mascot running out there, or whatever the fuck else that they want to throw at us. The announcers are having, fucking DoorDash at the announce desk. It's always got to be something. They won't have enough time to fit all that in. And so that's why the matches are, I don't say they're inconsequential, but the matches are secondary to all of this other stuff. And it shouldn't be that way. Again, it's one thing, that's the TV show, but on your PLEs, some of these matches, I look at these match times and I'm like, I don't understand it. They don't have a time. They don't have a chance to really kick into that next gear, because when it feels like it's about to, is how I felt with Brock and Oba, then it just ends. Right when it feels like, oh, it's starting to get good, and then it's over.
I mean, it wasn't like this when they were with Peacock, right? I mean, it was severely less than what we're getting now, right? This is an ESPN thing, no?
I wouldn't just put all the blame on ESPN. It's a TKO thing.
It's certainly a TKO thing, but ESPN certainly ain't helping.
No, it's not helping. It's worse now. But I wouldn't put all the blame on ESPN.
It's just, I don't know how you have Kevin Owens returning an 8-minute match. I don't understand.
Well, it's not just Kevin Owens, dude. You have 4 of the best wrestlers in the entire company in one match, and they got 8 minutes.
I know. Gable and Penta on any other show would get 20 minutes and fucking tear the house down. I'm trying to genuinely figure out why they only got 11 minutes. Then I gotta watch Ethan Page and Javon Evans get 14 minutes last night.
Well, that was a good match.
It was a good match. I mean, they worked very well together. I just don't get it. So SummerSlam, for the most part, was better than Mania, to me anyway, and Jason, if you combine both shows. But no singular match on this show was better than Roman Reigns and CM Punk at WrestleMania. And this is going to be the way. I mean, I just don't. I would love to know the fan experience. And we got Mark Shapiro out here talking about fan experiences. I mean, how good is the fan experience at these shows when, we very much are part of the fan experience as well, because we're paying to watch this show via streaming or whatever platform you're on. Even if you're paying for a VPN, you're still paying to watch the show.
Well, I finally got access to ESPN Unlimited through YouTube TV.
Oh, well,
I finally got it to work.
Oh, well, was it easy?
No, it wasn't, because everyone was saying, oh, it works for me, and then
Some so-called SUVs feel more like toys. You need a real vehicle that'll handle real life. Like the all-new 2020...
For me, and then I went to go, click the little option for it, and I guess it hadn't fully rolled out yet. But over the last several days, it finally did, and so I was able to watch it, and hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. It only took a year.
Yeah, well...
We were the last ones to get it.
Well, isn't it a better viewing experience via the VPN on Netflix than it is on YouTube TV through ESPN?
It can be. It can be, because if I just watch it through ESPN Unlimited, then you see all of the commercials. And if you watch it with the VPN, I'm pretty sure you don't get all the commercials. But you're going to get the countdown. They're going to they'll probably show the same clips of the Hulk Hogan Netflix documentary over and over again. But then you don't have to sit through all the commercials. But I at least like to have the option. You know what I mean? So, I have the option now. I could do VPN and Netflix, or I could do the ESPN Unlimited thing. But I couldn't get it to work up until a few days ago, and now it's fine. I think YouTube TV was the last holdout, I believe. So if you have ESPN as part of your package, you should have access to it.
Well, I will say the static commercials in between matches were 7 minutes, I think, at Mania. They were 4 minutes here for SummerSlam, which is better, but we got to add more time to these matches. It's just one of those things that it's like an unsolved mystery. I don't know why they can't let these people go out there and just do their fucking job and let them wrestle, but, I'm going to be complaining about it until the end of this ESPN deal. So we'll start with this. I want to start at the top in chronological order. We will take it from Triple H on Busted Open Radio with Dave LaGreca and Bully. I think it was Nick Nemeth. It was Nick Nemeth.
What a great, by the way, you called it, did you call it an interview?
Yes, I called. I called
That
it.
what you called it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was one question asked. So
I was going to say, because when you have an interview implies that people are asking questions.
Yes.
And that's not really what we had here. So I would call it more of a conversation.
Yes, it was
a fireside chat, if you will.
Yes, yes. Bring out the s'mores and let's have a little talk by the fucking fire pit.
Yes.
So he was on Sirius Busted Open Radio on the new WWE Radio Network, channel 156. Triple H suggested that fans should place their misguided passion towards investing in the superstars and their storylines rather than the creative process behind the television show. He says, and I quote, "I wish sometimes we could put that passion into the talent now as opposed to when somebody gets heat in our business. It's like, God, why would they write it that way? As opposed to that no good piece of shit did this. There's something to saying that innocence of not knowing, and it's still being real to me, damn it. But it is what it is. I love that. I love the hate. I love the love. It's all passion for what we do." And he basically went on to, again, tell everybody, don't make fun of me. Don't come at me. Please cast blame onto the talent because they're the ones that you're watching on the show. And it's not my fault. That has nothing to do with me. Now, all I have to say about this is, Jason, you know, that he's gone through multiple feelings, human emotion. He a couple of years ago he was all angry with Peter Rosenberg, and then he kind of lessens his emotions, and he's like, I really wish that the fans would take that energy and put it into the characters and to the stories instead of blaming the people who write the show. Meanwhile, he's basically telling everybody the show fucking sucks. And he doesn't want any of the heat that comes along with booking a bad television show. But this is the same guy who will sit on WWE Unreal in a writer's room with a bunch of other talentless hacks, wear his leather jacket, and be at the head of the table. This is the same guy that will have his name at the end of the credits with Lee Fitting as executive producers, yet he doesn't want us blaming him for anything that happens on the show. He is front and center on every interview and in every sit-down podcast, claiming that he's the chief content officer and he's the guy, the face. He's Dana White. Yet, who does he want us to blame? And at the end of the day, we always say it. The talent is only as good as the people writing for the talent. What does he expect the talent to go out there and do when some of these people aren't getting television time and are barely getting any television time to even show us what they're capable of on the microphone or in the ring? Is he really someone that's completely lost the plot here?
I don't know if he's lost the plot. I think he knows what he's saying. I think he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's deflecting. The thing about it is the idea of I wish we could go back to where people believed. Right? Because he even used that whole it's still real to me, damn it. And again, okay, but you're the face of Unreal, where you're taking us, you're pulling the curtain so far back. You're part of the problem. You being the collective WWE, you bear as much responsibility for that as anybody. So sure, I would love to go back to a day where people would be able to believe that bad guys were bad guys, right? And kayfabe was still a thing. But the genie is out of the lamp. You can't put it back in. And you bear a lot of responsibility in that. People are not stupid. When they watch the television shows, unless you're 5 years old and you're a very young fan, you watch the television shows and people are going to judge it as a television show. That's what it is. You'll notice in that interview, dude, he used a bunch of sports analogies. And he tried to compare them to it's like in the NFL or MLB when fans complain about their team, being terrible or whatever.
He used the Knicks as an example, yeah.
Fire the coach, or why did they draft this person? And I love the passion. Every time he says I love the passion or I love it, he really doesn't, by the way. He means the exact opposite. It clearly gets under his skin. I got the exact quote on my Twitter. I got to find what he said. It clearly gets under his skin. So whenever he says that, just know that he means the opposite. But he's using all of these sports analogies, and I'm like, these are terrible analogies because at the end of the day, you're not a sports league. You're not the NFL. You're not the NBA. You're a TV show. You have writers. It's scripted entertainment with predetermined outcomes. And people are rightly going to judge the television show based on the writing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're a television show.
Yeah, he says this is his exact quote. It's no different than the NFL where guys have never played a down in football in their entire life or haven't played since Pee-wee or whatever, are screaming and ranting, this coach sucks. He knows nothing. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I just look at the ratings on Collision where Collision is doing a 0.05 in the 18 to 49 and TNA is doing a 0.04. AEW is making how much more money than TNA on their TV deal? It's like... Should AEW be making as much as TNA on their TV deal? Why are they making some there? Both Becky and Stephanie back. Liv retains the title at SummerSlam over Io. We had the Usos and Jacob Fatu against LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa in a six-man tag team match. The babyfaces ended up winning here in 11 minutes. Solo Sikoa really kind of continues just to break out of his shell. He had one of the better moments of the entire night. He started to run it back, and then I mean, everybody was more involved in Solo cheating than they were Jey Uso cheating, which was kind of surprising to me, you know?
None of this is surprising to me because I have known for the longest time that if you just let this guy be himself, there's a great babyface run buried within this man, and that's what you're seeing. He's just going out there and being silly and being himself. And it's resonating with people, and people are, for the first time, I find myself in a situation where, like, Raw ended last night, and I was like, man, like, I wish Solo was on the show. Where's Solo? I was happy Danhausen wasn't on. I mean, he was during the commercials, but, like, he wasn't on the actual show. But I was like, oh, man, Solo Sikoa wasn't there. So I would never have said that, like, even 2 months ago. But it's starting to get over. And the thing that blows my mind, there was a report from WrestleVotes on Thursday that said WWE is paying attention to this crowd reaction to Solo because the idea was that he was going to go back to being a heel. And it blew my fucking mind when I read this, because what I read into that is that there maybe something was originally planned for the SummerSlam match where at the end of it he would have gone back to being a heel, and that would have been a terrible idea. So yes, I hope they're paying very close attention to the reaction to this guy, and if they had any plans of turning him back heel, don't do it. Because that would be a terrible idea.
Well, we can see where Solo gets the charisma in the family. Clearly his brothers have lost whatever they had. He's got a lot of that rock influence in him, Solo. Kind of dresses like him. Kind of got that just outwardly charismatic attitude about him. I like it. I like it. Slowly making me a Solo Sikoa believer after all these years. So this was a good Raw match. I mean, did it need to be on PLE? Probably not, but they got the win. The babyfaces did, and then
you undersold this, man. You undersold this. LA, they didn't just get a win. LA Knight pinned Jey Uso.
Yes,
so that for him, that's big. I was like, man, they could have given it to Solo, but they gave it to LA Knight.
Well, the reason why they gave it to LA Knight is because he's setting sail on the doom and gloom ship, because that's exactly where he's going with Roman Reigns. So. LA Knight
can't win with you.
What
you want LA Knight to get a push. You want LA Knight to wrestle Roman Reigns. Now LA Knight's going to wrestle Roman Reigns. You're still bitching and moaning about it. Come on now, man. He's right where he should be. We know how the story ends, but now.
Do you know what I'm going to tell you? Do you have an idea what I'm going to tell you next?
I mean, I have a sense of where you were going with this.
Yes, I feel after last night's segment, which we're going to get into now, because LA Knight. He showed up on Raw last night, and he confronted Roman Reigns.
Starting a business? Put it in the right hands with LegalZoom. Because the last thing you'd want to do is let
Roman Reigns. And Roman's in the ring. He's doing his deal. And LA Knight comes out to interrupt him. I'm like, all right, here we go. So he gets into the ring. He starts congratulating Roman Reigns on still being the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, doing it by himself. And then he eventually says, I want you to give me what you gave Rollins. No bloodline, no outside interference, no bullshit. We can do it here. We can do it next week. We can do it at Money in the Bank. We can wait till WrestleMania. He just wants a match with Roman. So LA Knight ends up calling him a fraud, which sets off Roman. And he's showing off his $500,000 watch, skeleton back tourbillon AP watch. And he goes on to basically say that LA Knight hasn't done anything. Oh, you beat my cousins. Oh, man, I'm happy for you. I'm so proud of you. You won a 6-man tag team match. What a way to bury your fucking family, you know? Yes, he beat your cousins. You haven't won a tournament. You haven't won a battle royal. You haven't won a big match. Get to the back of the line. So LA Knight goes on to make fun of the whole Shield entrance, and he makes fun of the uniform Charlie, Kilo, you suck, calls him a fraud, the biggest vomit in the business, and he goes on to basically say that he is the uncrowned champion. The uncrowned champion of the world, and he wants a match with Roman. Now, I know, you and I both know, Jason, everybody knows how this is going to end. We're not stupid. Like, we don't know when and where this match is going to happen. I doubt they wait till Money in the Bank. That's 2 months from now. But...
Well, I mean, Roman told him you got to earn it first. I think they're going to tell that story of he has to take the time to earn the shot.
All right, maybe it does happen at Money in the Bank.
So I think we may, yeah. I also think pretty good chance we get it in Money in the Bank to shut down all these people every year. I always get these questions like, is LA Knight going to win Money in the Bank this year?
That wasn't going away this year, so...
And I'm like, no. Well, if you put him in a title match, you take that question off the table because he won't be in Money in the Bank.
We all know how this is going to end, but I have to cause some tension and disagreement on this show because we do end up agreeing on a lot of what we talk about. Bro, I'm putting the title on LA Knight. I don't give a shit how you do it. I put the title on LA Knight. He's gonna laugh at me. Even though I just prefaced it saying we all know how this is gonna end. Belt LA Knight, bro. What is the big deal? What is so funny about that? I mean, Roman Reigns put over Bronson Reed. What did that amount to? Why can't we make it a 1-month title reign and build tension between LA Knight, the Bloodline, and going into War Games? At least it would give War Games a fucking kick in the ass.
You know damn well that if they put the title on LA, you're like, okay, why not just give him a 1-month reign with the belt? If they give him a 1-month reign with the belt, the same fans who have been clamoring for an LA Knight title reign will rain hellfire and brimstone down on this company for daring to take the belt away from him after a month.
Those fans are stupid.
But that's not going to accomplish anything. But here's the thing, dude. They, in my opinion, they are clearly setting up Roman Reigns and Obafemi, probably for WrestleMania next year.
Fine.
Okay? But that's the match. I think in their eyes, this only works if Obafemi is the man to take down Roman Reigns and take that title away from him. You honestly believe that they're going to disrupt this Roman Reigns title run in advance of them doing the Obafemi match, and of all people, they're going to give the belt to LA Knight?
I mean...
Are you out of your mind? You actually think that they would even be considering something like that?
No, I know they're not considering it. Roman Reigns is never putting over LA Knight. Never. I understand that. I'm saying take a chance. Give me some unpredictability. Throw a wrench into the show that's boring and give me something that nobody expects. Plus, you got a War Games now. How are you going to build War Games? War Games hasn't felt special since it hit the main roster. Now you want me to figure LA Knight and the babyface are going to wrestle the Bloodline in War Games. Why? For what? If LA Knight wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship here, at least it gives a catalyst to getting that match and giving it some heat, some tension. You can always take it off and put him back on Roman Reigns a month later. You could always do a screwy finish.
But how does that... Okay, so to your point of trying to make the television show more interesting...
Yes.
How is that accomplished by putting the belt on LA Knight and taking it away from him 4 weeks later? And then you're right back in the same boat where it's on Roman Reigns and you're probably bored of what they're doing because it is the same old, same old. It doesn't accomplish anything. If their larger story is Obafemi and the idea that he's the man to take Roman down, it kind of kills the story a little bit if in the middle of all that, he loses it for 4 weeks to LA Knight. I'm not saying, could you do it? Sure. But I don't really think it accomplishes much. How does that make the television show more interesting if you're just going to take it off from 4 weeks later?
LA Knight holding the title on television for 4 weeks is not better than Roman Reigns missing 2 of those 4 appearances and not being on the show altogether?
Well,
with no world champion present?
Well, it all depends. If LA Knight shows up and he's cutting a promo with the belt over his shoulder, probably it isn't that much of a difference, honestly. What is he going to do in those 4 weeks to make the television shows that much more interesting? If you're going to put the belt on him, I'd rather give him a proper run with it. Don't just give it to him for 4 weeks.
Nursing feel like a nightmare? Get help 24/7.
Hey everybody, Chris Yelsey here with the Traveler Podcast. Tonight we have a guest, Shannon, who's a real estate friend of mine. and we're going to be talking about her perspective about the business and where she's coming from. It's okay to smile. And just kind of how long she's been in business, and just to kind of give our audience a little bit something different.
Weeks. Because how is he going to get over as the champion? That just tells me they don't have faith in him to get over as the champion, and it's a speed bump just to get the belt back on Roman. I'd rather they not even fucking do it if that's the case.
Well, then he's got no way in hell to win the championship at all. Because if we're going from Roman to Oba, then
never had any chance in hell to win the championship.
He should have. That's the point I'm trying to make. He should be the champion.
We've been saying that for years, though. We're at a point now where you kind of accept that, okay, he has no shot. And I don't even know why we're having a conversation about it, because it's not going to happen. What I would prefer, and here's the other reason why I don't like this. What I would rather see, because they're not going to do this on both shows. To me, much more interesting television to be had by having Kevin Owens take the title from CM Punk. Because he's the number one contender for that championship. And every fucking time that we have seen, just like LA Knight, every single time we've seen Kevin Owens challenge for that title against Roman, how many matches did they have on PLEs? 3 or 4? Mm-hmm. Every time against Roman, every time against Cody, he always loses. Now he's the number one contender. You're going to put him against CM Punk and do what exactly? Right? If it's a one-off, Sami Zayn probably interferes. Boring. But what are you going to do? You're just going to have him go in there and lose? I would much rather Kevin Owens win the WWE Championship.
Yeah, but there's more talents on Friday Night SmackDown that intertwine with each other. You could easily have Randy Orton fuck him over.
Well, whoever fucks him over. The point is you put the belt on Kevin Owens, and you do it for more than just 4 weeks. If you give me the choice of doing that with LA Knight on Raw or Kevin Owens on SmackDown, personally, I don't want to see KO go in there and lose. I'd rather put that belt on Kevin Owens. And I'm not wasting my whatever capital I have here to spend. I'm putting the belt on LA Knight for 4 weeks, putting it back on Roman, and Knight goes right back to where he was before. Because to me, that doesn't accomplish anything. What do you think? We're going to get the most 4 amazing weeks of television that we've had all year just because LA Knight has the belt for a month?
No, it's not going to make the television show better. You're just paying someone forward for giving you 4 years and them maintaining them. They're them being over in front of the audience.
It's not about paying it forward. This is about giving us
when Triple H makes those comments, what does he want the fucking guy to do?
Well, there's nothing more that he can do. He's still over in spite of the booking. What I'm saying is that the reason that he's not the champion by now is because they don't believe in him to be in that spot. And that's not going to change. So I look at this and I kind of like, okay, I see things for how they are. Well, you know what then? I'd rather them switch the belt on SmackDown because there's a better chance that they're going to do that and give him a run with it than they ever will LA Knight.
Well, I think that. So I think that idea fucking sucks. Not your idea of KO because I love KO, but I just think the idea of not belting LA Knight because they don't believe in him fucking sucks. I think that's ridiculous.
Oh, of course it sucks. It sucked this entire time. It sucked. He stayed over, dude, in spite of the terrible booking that he has had foisted upon him. The people still cheer for him and pop for him when he comes out. And he's still one of the better promos in the company. I won't say he's the best, but he's one of the better promo. I thought he outshined Roman on the mic last night.
I thought so too.
Yeah. I mean, the Roman, the watch burn was pretty good. If you're a megastar, why are you wearing a Walmart watch? Like, that was a good line. But on the whole, I thought it was actually a pretty good night for Knight. Sometimes he'll stumble over his promos, and I'm like, because I know they're sitting in the back, and they're probably like, oh, he fucked up again. It's like when he slipped off the ropes at the Elimination Chamber. I just winced, because I could just imagine the comments that are probably going back and forth, back there. But I thought he had a good night last night. I'm glad he's in this position. I know how this story ends, and it sucks that we all know how this story ends, but that's how it ends. And there's nothing that's going to change that. The best we can hope for him is that they drag this out for a little bit, take us down that story of how is he going to become number one contender. Maybe he has to win a tournament. Maybe he wins a battle royal, just like Roman said. That's why I think they're going to take us on that journey for a little bit before they give us the match. There is a Sunday night's main event, by the way, coming up Labor Day weekend.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So they could do the match there and not Money in the Bank. I don't know. He specifically mentioned Money in the Bank, though, which made me think maybe that's where they're going to do it. And they'll do it, and he'll be beaten, dude. He'll be beaten. Because I don't think they want to take the belt off Roman before Oba takes it from him. They want Oba to be that guy.
I know. I'm just.
They want to give him that. Because with Oba, it's all about accolades. This whole year is about that, right? He beat Brock in his last WrestleMania match. He won the King of the Ring. He beat Brock in Hell in a Cell. Right? It's all about accolades. So he could be the guy that ended Roman's title run at WrestleMania or, whenever they see fit to do it.
All right, LA Knight fanatics, I tried. Can't convince him. We both know where this is going to end.
The LA Knight fanatics can't tell me I'm wrong either because they know I'm right.
Well, you are right. Well, I mean, we both know where it's going to end and how it's going to end. It's just,
I mean, nothing I've said here
sucks.
Everything I've said here is just factually correct.
Yes. Gunther, Nick Aldis. This was one of the matches I was personally looking forward to on night one. They gave Nick Aldis a great presentation. They had him come out to Oasis. Not a big fan of the band, but...
Yeah, you're not a big fan of a lot of bands. You posted something on Twitter earlier, and you're asking for all this feedback, and yet there's still a CD wrapped in plastic that's sitting on your desk, calling your name, that you still haven't listened to.
It's right here at my desk. It's right here.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis got the whole presentation. He got the theme music. His wife, his family were sitting in the front row. He had the right opponent, and he went 11 minutes with Gunther. I thought he looked good. I thought this was one of the bigger highlights of night one. Gunther obviously was the right choice to win here. He ended up tapping out Nick Aldis in about 11 minutes. What'd you make of his first match in 3 years, Jason, Nick Aldis here?
I thought it was very good. He said after the show that he got blown up during his entrance, but he didn't look blown up to me.
No.
Yeah, I thought he looked really good for a guy who hasn't had a match in 3 years, and I think this all came together pretty short notice. I think they said he got word from, who was it that he said told him? One of the agents, but they gave him like a month's notice.
On the under $3 menu at McDonald's, a McChicken is $2. Because when you're craving a McChicken, you deserve a McChicken. And now, that McChicken is just $2.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Month's notice. And so he had a month to get himself in the shape that he felt, he needed to be in. I mean, dude, he walked out there. He looked like he could fit in on the roster full time.
Yes.
And they had it was a very basic match, but they had a good pro wrestling match. And the fans were really into all this. So, like, even when he locked on the clover leaf, people were going nuts. And when Gunther put him in the sleeper hold, they were trying to rally behind him and everything, which was cool to see because he's never wrestled in this company before. And you have to imagine that most people that are in this audience, this WWE audience, they probably never saw him wrestle anywhere else. Do you think these people were watching Billy Corgan's NWA?
Not a chance.
I mean, come on, Dale. How many people that were in the crowd on Saturday or Sunday were watching when he was Brutus Magnus in TNA? Like, come on.
Not a fucking single person. Maybe Chris Van Vliet, who was sitting front row right on our
Oh, Chris, I'm sure was. Yeah, no, I'm sure Chris was. But I thought it was good. I thought he had a good night. If that's his I don't think it's going to be his last match, but if it's his last match for a while, I mean, look, he had a great night. He should be very proud. And it was very cool because he had his wife there, his son was there, and the crowd was behind him, 100%. So, and we had the right outcome because while it would have made for a feel-good moment, anything other than Gunther winning, I think, would have been a terrible mistake.
Nah, that would have been detrimental to what's already happened to Gunther. So he was the right winner. At the end of the night here on social media, Nick Aldis handed in his resignation paper for the GM position on SmackDown, only for Triple H to then rip it up and reinstate him as general manager. Now, I was hoping that they would have played that out on television because that's a pretty big deal. Then they sent Nick Aldis out there on Sunday, and he added Gunther and Kevin Owens to the match with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, but Gunther ends up on the stage laughing at Nick Aldis and then ends up shaking his hand, which didn't really make any sense to anybody because how many people actually saw the backstage segment with Triple H and Nick Aldis? What'd you make of the whole segment with them and then Triple H reinstating him? Did you have a problem with that?
No. Why did it not make sense? Made perfect sense to me. They're talking about him putting Gunther in the match on Sunday.
No, I mean them playing out the resignation being better. I wasn't really moved by the story coming into SummerSlam with those two guys either. But the thing is, they have 14 years.
That was insulting. I wouldn't go that far as to say this was insulting. I just thought that this was just not a good Hell in a Cell match.
There was others. Roman and Bray was another bad one. This is up there with easily top 3 if you want to go top 5 worst Hell in a Cell matches of all time.
It was not one of the better ones. No. But I'm just saying, like, Rollins and Fiend is in a category all unto itself. Okay.
The rant on YouTube that we brought. I know I had one. I know you had one too. But
oh yeah, it's still racking up views to this day. But I wasn't even on video at that point. It was all audio with the thumbnail. But
we know why they did this. Like, it's so egregious that he put a match together. This was one of the first matches that he announced for SummerSlam. And he put this together to simply sell tickets, and then he false advertised the Hell in a Cell because this didn't even resemble a Hell in a Cell match.
Well, that was my big... I had 2 big issues with this. Number one, this did not need to sell.
No.
And I got a lot of people who agreed with me. I had a lot of people who came at me and insulted me and all kinds of... It's ridiculous.
Why?
Why? Because they tried to school me. They're like, you don't understand the story. The story is that Brock was undefeated in Hell in a Cell. And so he wanted Oba to be the one to finally beat him inside the cell. It'll mean more that way.
I got one that'll trump you. All I heard, the majority of the excuses I heard was, Brock is 49 years old, JD. He can't take bumps anymore. Oh, is that right? That's great. You can't use that excuse when Edge and fucking Bobby Lashley are over on AEW television, older than Brock, still taking bumps and wrestling at a high level. Give me a break. Come on.
Well, look at Brock.
Well, when you have Paul Heyman go out there and have a pre-taped vignette the week before SummerSlam, afraid to use the word violence to describe this, I mean, you got to make it violent. There's no blood. There's nothing that signifies Hell in a Cell. This was a no-holds-barred match with, like Jason said, a cage around it.
Yeah.
That's all it should have been.
And did you notice the new branding on the chairs?
The Wingstop steel chair, yeah.
We have the Wingstop chair, we've had the Fireball ladder, and we have the Slim Jim table.
Oh, we knew Wingstop was advertisement for SummerSlam because they let you know.
You think you're injustice. You're not. Let the parasite pick of shit.
I think I'm done. Now, a lot of people were claiming that if Brock was done after SummerSlam, they don't really see that being the case because WrestleVotes put something out internally where WWE management felt like Brock wasn't going to call it a day at the end of SummerSlam because of WrestleMania. And I think everybody had this assumption that Brock was going to be in WrestleMania because it's Saudi Arabia and a big payday, and he goes for the easy payday. But I believe him, Jason. I think he may very well be done. Just a Hall of Fame next year, maybe, and he rides off into the sunset. He did say he wants to go and watch his sons play sports, and then obviously his daughter for the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah, and I saw somebody say that, I guess, when he was on McAfee's show, he said that he spent the last 48 hours in bed after the match with Oba.
Really?
So, I mean, if that's the case, then he must have been feeling pretty beat up. It just seemed to me like maybe he just wasn't, willing to take bumps to the degree that you would hope in a match like that. Like, you would see that sort of thing. Maybe that's why his matches, all 3 matches with Oba were more or less the same. This one just had some more plunder to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, look, this is the first time we've actually heard him say the words, right? After WrestleMania, he didn't say anything about being retired. He just took the gloves off, he took the boots off, and everybody just assumed. They had the Godsmack video package back in April that they replayed last night. But he never actually announced, like, hey, I'm retired. They had a segment with Paul Heyman handing in retirement papers to Adam Pearce that was part of the angle. This is the first time he's actually gone on a show and said, yeah, I'm done. I'm retired. And I think in the interview he said he thought he was retired after Mania. But they probably wanted him to, play it out a little bit more, so he did. So with him saying it, it's more believable. Do I think he could be coaxed out, though, for a big payday in a big match? Absolutely. Yeah. Every wrestler is. Every wrestler is open to, one last big payday.
Is there anybody on the roster that you want to see him against at all?
No.
Me neither.
No. I felt like the WrestleMania match was the perfect send-off for him.
Yeah.
and then he came back. And now they finished the trilogy, and I feel like that was the perfect send-off for him, with him getting on the mic and putting over the next generation. There's nothing left for him to do. There's no dream match. There's no, some people were saying, oh, him and Gunther, that's not a dream match. That ship sailed a few years ago. There's no match that I could think of that I really have any interest in seeing him in at this point.
He may be done. We'll keep an eye on that. But I agree with Jason. I don't really care to see Brock Lesnar against anybody else. I think Sunday, or Saturday rather, was the perfect send-off. I don't see him coming back for anything more meaningful. Night 2. We already talked about Kevin Owens. He is the new #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Gunther, Kevin Owens. They went a little under 9 minutes here. Just absolutely ridiculous that you got 4 of these types of guys, and it only goes less than 9 minutes. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton both back at SummerSlam. You would assume that both will end up on SmackDown, clearly. And along with that, Jason, we have Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Gunther, Damian Priest. If you want to include him in there, he did mention that comment about the same faces being on top. McIntyre's not even back yet. Are we looking at a SmackDown brand at 2 hours with these names, potentially, kind of turning the corner as far as quality? Do they have right now, without McIntyre even being included yet because he's out filming the movies, is this the best main event scene in all pro wrestling right now if you just take up all the names and put them together in one big bucket?
This is the top of the card that we needed when SmackDown was 3 hours.
Yeah.
And now the show is 2 hours. So it's very crowded there at the top of the card. You mentioned McIntyre. I think he should be on Raw when he comes back. I just think it's too crowded right now on SmackDown, and it would be too top-heavy over there. Raw could use him. Man, who knows? Maybe he resumes the Bloodline Hunter gimmick, when he comes back, and he can build to a match with Roman. So the top of the scene all of a sudden on SmackDown is, again, it's looking really, really strong. And mainly the key players being Cody, Randy, Owens, Punk, and Gunther. You mentioned, Balor. You mentioned some of the other people, Priest. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't think they're necessarily going to be in the top mix, but you can give them a match if you want to. So it's a good problem to have. How do you, figure all these people into the show from week to week? My hope is that because they have a roster that's now more at full strength, it will make the television a lot more interesting. As we head into a period where typically this time of year, post-SummerSlam, when we're heading into the fall and the winter, I wouldn't exactly say that's their strongest period of the year.
The count runs full. The 3-2 pitch, and he got him.
The year. So it's a good thing. I like it. I really am very interested in seeing CM Punk and Kevin Owens. I mean, I've been, crowing about that match and asking for that match for a while, and I didn't think they were going to go to it this quickly, but I'm really happy that we're going to get it. I just don't know when. Watch, they'll do it on Friday because we're not going to be here.
Yeah.
But I feel like every time we have like an HOG show, there's always a WWE title match on SmackDown. Always. Twice alone this year that's happened.
Yeah, I know.
So they never said what...
Both including Cody.
Yeah, it was Cody and Drew, and then it was Cody and Gunther.
Yeah.
And they never told us. They haven't said anything yet about when Owens is going to get his shot. My expectation, though, is that we'll get a face...
That with this loss, because Carmelo Hayes posted something after Baron Corbin won. He had this, face with a bullseye on it, and he's coming for Corbin in the United States title. Trick Williams, supposedly, according to everybody, is now going to go after the world title. He's odds-on favorite now to win Money in the Bank. Early odds-on favorite.
Trick Williams is?
Yes.
Trick in the Bank.
Trick in the Bank, yeah.
I could see that. I mean, to me, he's not middle of all of this. So forever and a day now, when people look back on this moment where Chad Gable won his first singles championship in WWE, you're going to see the Mug Root Beer mascot hijack the segment, jump on the apron, and you'll have this corporate nonsense.
All right. Money in the Bank predictions, Lauren. We just answered that question. $2 super.
Well, my vote is end the video. I think I made it long enough. hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all support. I'll be back with more. I think I will play Call of Duty 6, the campaign. I'll play that tomorrow. Until that time, I will see y'all later. Alright.